Right. Okay. Okay.
Woo!
First podcast.
First podcast.
The Strokes Gain Talking Podcast. The name came from Rob. We didn't like the first one apparently, which was three putt for par. Jordan did not
Awful.
like,
Awful.
and someone
Why
else
did
had
Jordan not like it? I wonder
Who
why.
wants to do that?
no. I know. So yeah, this is great. We're going to have a fourth guest as well, James Kempster. But as anybody knows James Kempster knows he's not the most reliable. So he said to kick off the three of us, and he's been summoned to do some housework as well for his cousin coming to visit. So we'll let him off this time. But
That's actually true as well. Sounds like you made that up on the spot.
he gave us a good 2 minutes notice. So apart from that, yeah. So we've got with us Robert Foley, Jordan Sunborg, and myself, Ethan Campbell. We're all university friends from Stirling, and this is going to be the first podcast, hopefully, of many. So let's see. So Rob, go ahead, tell us about yourself. It's not a job interview, but
Would like it.
Robert Foley, born and raised in Switzerland, went to uni in Stirling, just in the in the middle of Scotland, where I met these fine gentlemen, where we spent 4 years of being classy, responsible young adults on while getting the degree and playing golf. And over there, I decided that I was gonna try and pursue professional golf, and that's where I am at the minute on the playing on the Challenge Tour in Europe.
yeah,
You just
Jordan.
can't beat it.
Well, no,
Um,
yeah, go for it. Go for it. I was going to go into, but we can. We've got all year to speak about Robert, to be fair, so it's fine.
we've got so
That's
much time. We've got so much time. Jordan Sandborg, I am a PGA assistant professional at Royal Burgess in Edinburgh. Absolutely love the game. And one day we'll play professional golf, but not just yet. Maybe soon.
maybe
Well,
soon.
you say that, but you've played events
Maybe
and
soon.
stuff, obviously,
Played loads
and
of events, PGA and other bits and bobs. So yeah, you know what? Actually, I'm all right.
and yeah, open qualifying. We'll not get into
Open
that.
qualifier,
Well, we'll save
not
that for a
yet.
future episode. But
That'll be that has to be an
Oh,
episode in itself, surely.
that is
yeah. We can talk about that after the Ryder Cup.
and to be fair, that's probably my claim to fame as the as carried in that, aside from the playing career, which is obviously not as illustrious as used to. But
What
um,
do you mean? What
I
do you
know
mean? Your
well.
playing career is quality.
Plus handicap golf for the Royal Burgess, and that sounds pretty terrible after following a full-time professional and someone who's played open qualifying and got quite close. But
Yeah, you probably should have gone first, actually.
I carried in open qualifying, so that's basically the same.
Yeah. So in this podcast, we've got two touring professionals and Ethan Campbell.
That's the name of the podcast.
That should have been the
Oh,
name. That should be the name.
So we're gonna focus. We thought we ran the pub the other day and thought this is gonna be well. Me and Robert were saying things that the commentators were saying, and I know people in football do this as well, but we thought, you know what, we could just give this a go. And Robert wants to, I keep saying Robert because he keeps reading your name on Zoom. No one calls him Robert. Rob said it might be a good idea to do a watch long. I said we'll just walk before we can run, so we'll do a podcast about the Ryder Cup, which is obviously a bit scary in the end, but really, really great overall. So I was just going to ask you your initial thoughts on the weekend, how it panned out, maybe some of your thoughts going into it as well.
it was unnecessarily exciting, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it just
It,
didn't need to. It didn't need to be that good. I
it
was so
was.
prepared for a boring Sunday. Just four matches out of four. Thanks for coming. See you later. Done.
I
Done by halfway.
I couldn't believe it. I nearly found myself cheering for the Americans because it was getting so interesting.
I wouldn't
Shut
go that far.
up.
It was just when you don't want it to be over at like 9:30, and then like well, what else are you gonna do? Like you want I love it when it gets like close and interesting, but it got a bit too close.
Yeah.
Yeah, and too interesting. Can we just talk about how the fact that there was 11 singles matches and Europe won one of them, and it was Oberg against Cantlay, who Cantlay was probably favourite to win that game, and Oberg won, but then we didn't win another singles game.
He was And I actually think Aalborg's been a bit disrespected.
Yeah.
After the singles, everyone's talking about Lowry and the made putt and stuff, but he's the only boy that won his match.
I know the
Yeah,
whole point.
I know
The
we're
whole
going into
point.
it thinking, what's the kind of record we can set here? We've already set a record after 4 sessions. I mean, as soon as we went into the pub to watch it, and I think the Americans went up slightly at the start, and then it just turned around, and then Fitzy went at 4 up, 5 up, and then they were just sitting there with a couple of pints going, we're going to absolutely obliterate these boys, and the pub just got quieter and quieter after that, the more tense it got.
It was
Um,
mental because like there was like four games or 5 games that were up, like 1 or 2 up, and then Fitzy was miles up. But then it's like I went to the toilet and I came back and we were up in 1 game. I was like, how's that possible? Do you know what I mean? I was like shocked.
Momentum is insane.
Yeah.
It's just insane how it can just one boy makes a 20-footer and then the energy just shifts. When
exactly.
yeah, and it's like we got it back when Rose hit that pitch shot from someone's like
Oh,
from the kitchen of one of the tents.
honestly,
I
how
hit
good
it.
was that?
I was and then suddenly we started making putts, and then things started going again, like one shot.
I know.
Yeah.
And I was going to get into the stats. We'll get into the stats as the episode goes on, but I've never seen the quality of golf is just unbelievable. The amount of, even when we were far ahead, every time I looked, it seemed like the Americans were hitting it really, really close as well.
Yeah,
Especially in the 4 balls, you would just see 4 balls within 12 feet of the pin. It was unbelievable.
yeah. I think it also the singles just shows how bad a captain Keegan Bradley was.
Exactly.
Once the boys were just on their own ball, they just started playing good golf. The Americans,
Oh,
Yeah,
I
well,
d-
like everything everyone's saying, like, oh, it's redemption for Keegan that they fought back and stuff. I think it's the opposite.
yeah, I
If
was
they
going
would
to
have
say,
played bad, it would have been proof that they were just playing like terrible golf, and
yeah,
that or that they were just not as good. And then the things just showed that they were actually more than good enough, and they were just set up as bad as they could be. Like yeah,
yeah. I
he
was
got
going
it
to,
all.
it's hard to obviously make a judgment now, but the picks going into it, what were your thoughts at the time? Obviously, it might be a bit clouded now that you know what's panned out, but were there any surprises before it went
Yeah,
into the tournament on the American side potentially?
who are the picks again for USA?
The picks for the USA were
was it Morikawa was
with
one, Sam
J
Burns, Ben
JT,
Gri- No, JT was straight in, no?
was he?
Oh no, he did. Yeah, he did get a pick. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, JT, Sam
JT,
Burns, Ben Griffin,
Cameron Young,
Cameron
which worked
Young.
out.
Yeah, Cameron Young was quality though, wasn't he?
He
Yeah,
was he was so good. Like
I actually
Cantlay, yeah,
appreciated Cam Young. Like he wasn't going mental. Do you know what I mean? And you know when they go like mental, like Justin Thomas and Bryson, right? They would go mental and like just. And then Cam Young would like hold a putt and would just fist pump, and that was it. Just fist pump, hit the
yeah,
ball at the hole, and just move on. Do you know what I mean? It was like he wasn't expending any energy. And then the other boys were just going mental every time they hold a putt, and it's like,
yeah.
sure, that's exhausting. Like,
I love when he made a putt. It was more like yeah, like that's what I was gonna do that anyway. Like
yeah, I'm on
I
business.
expect myself to do that. This is like
Yeah,
this is what I do.
exactly.
Like I've got my name on my bag. You know what do you think I'm gonna do? Like not make birdies. And the other
Yeah,
boy, Bryson, was like, when you play with a kid who makes his first birdie, he's just
yeah. I did that
exactly.
with Ethan the other day actually.
yeah. Uh, you made a birdie yet, Ian?
I've made a birdie. I've made a few birdies. That'll be the name of the podcast. Made a few birdies in my time.
Yeah.
But on one of those picks was Morikawa, which I know it's easy to say now. Obviously, he's had his time. He's won an Open. He's won a PGA Championship. He's in his head, like when he was playing his best, by far the best iron player in tour, especially long irons. Um, but do you think he still deserved to get picked? I know we know this, obviously the outcome now, but at the time, were you surprised to see him get picked?
Yeah, I think.
Um,
Go on, Jordan.
I don't actually know. I don't know. I can't think of other people that would have been picked. Can you shout me some names that I think
Keegan
who?
Bradley.
Yeah,
Oh,
well, Keegan Bradley. Well, that's a good place to start. Let's just start with that, which
Yeah,
is,
I think
um,
he's not going to have a bigger regret in his life than not picking himself.
I don't know,
Yeah,
but it wasn't the right thing to do. Probably not, because I mean, you see like Luke Donald's press conference, like how much attention to detail he had. Like you can't do that if you're worried
Yeah,
about playing as well.
but he didn't do the attention to detail anyways. So
Yeah, yeah. So, but he's too
he
busy playing.
he was too busy playing, and he should have been like, well, I've got no time to catch up with Luke, so I'll go with a completely different approach and energy to it. I'll be just
Yeah.
playing, and we'll be the prepared guys versus the man in the like in the arena. Would have been a good
Mm.
like narrative for and everything. And he was the form player. Like Luke went with his form guys, the guys that were in form the last like two
yeah,
3 months,
Yeah.
and Keegan went for experience, and the guys that like have done it,
Mhm.
with that have played with like Sam Burns and Morikawa, who like I think shouldn't have been picked,
yeah.
and he went for experience, but there's a whole like sort of narrative that rookies are terrible at Ryder Cups, and there's like I don't buy that one bit. It's a ridiculous saying.
It
Like
is
if you think
Yeah.
back
form.
at like Cole Sarts and Cabrera Bello, I'm thinking about like the European rookies, and you think of I don't know, like even John Ram when he the first week when he beat Tiger, just like it's
Yeah, they're
just
Yeah,
playing
weird.
in front of crowds all the time, right? So it's not like it's
Yeah,
the crowds that's the issue. They're just playing
especially
in
at
front of
home.
crowds, and it's like, yeah, 100%.
Especially at home, and that's what he did in the first session. He put all the four rookies didn't play. He didn't play it in the first session because of this
Mhm.
whole like rookies and Ryder Cup and
yeah.
stuff. It's
Yeah, they're going to
just
feel like intimidated.
yeah,
So
and there's just no like if you look at Cameron Young and JJ Spawn this week,
Yeah,
I mean,
unbelievable.
unbelievable, and they were the guys that were in form as well the last few months. If you look at the US, like Keegan Bradley, Cameron Young, and JJ Spawn were their form players, and he sat him out the first session. I was like, what is he doing?
yeah, there was
Considering
other
Cameron
informed
Young's
ones as
played that
well.
course Cameron Young's played that course all the time. Like he's played it
Yeah,
so much. Like, and I didn't get it.
Yeah,
yeah.
the other ones that just missed out would have been Maverick McNeely potentially. Although I think this is where it gets difficult because you're going to pick Maverick McNeely over Colin Morikawa. Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah,
Would you
that's
pick him
fair.
over Sam Burns? Maybe, although Sam Burns is the best putter on tour and
Yeah,
match
it
play. We
was
know how
just
big putts affect those things.
Yeah,
Keegan
we'll talk
Bradley
about the
obviously picked
stats
himself.
later. Yeah,
Yeah. And then other one who to miss out was Brian Harmon, potentially. No, not for you, Jordan.
not for me. But again, depends how the course was set up. If the course was set up like it was, then Brian Harman would have been sweet because you can hit it anywhere. The rough wasn't penal, and it was a putting competition, right? The Europeans won the putting competition on Friday and Saturday. They lost it on Sunday, but they did enough on Friday and Saturday to pretty much win it anyway.
yeah.
Exactly. And in terms of that team selection, then the biggest talking point from the first day, which then went into the second day, was the Morikawa English pairing, which
It's like laughable. I couldn't believe it when they got picked again on the Saturday.
On the Saturday is
I was like,
outrageous.
I thought it's just another point.
it is
Yeah,
a free point. Yeah.
he said in his press conference like we're not panicking, we're sticking to the plan. And
Yeah.
I was like, you're five and a half, two and a half down, or what was it? You like your boys got severely outplayed in the foursomes. I think three of the games didn't make it to the 16th or 15th hole.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
it's if there's any time to panic, it's now, mate. Like, come on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was strange pairing, and it's obviously got a lot of traction because out of the 132 possible combinations, they ranked the bottom. And then he went and picked him again. The only I'm trying to think of what in his mind thought would be a good idea to put them together because if it was stats based, it was obviously not going to work. The only thing I could think
No.
of is that they hit it maybe a similar distance off the tee. That's why he put them in foursomes. But I
Yeah.
mean, that's at that level. I mean, you need to be digging a bit deeper than that. And obviously, it's easy to say that now, but it looked like it was never going to work.
Yeah, for me, I feel like he just went into the team room and it was like, who feels like they can play with each other? And Morikawa and English might have just gone, like, where they might have played together in one of the like practice rounds and be like, they were played well that day and they beat maybe like I don't know Justin Thomas and DeChambeau in a match, and then Keegan was like, oh well, I'll just pick them then because they played well.
Yeah,
One
Yeah,
like in one of the practice rounds, it felt like more of like a knee jerk team that had no
yeah.
plan behind it, and it was just like we're gonna where we he like he it felt like he like picked three of his teams and was like, oh, we need to pick a fourth, and well,
I
okay,
don't want to pick any rookies.
yeah, yeah,
But it was like he said after the opening ceremony, Keegan Bradley said, "Oh, I've spoken to all the guys, and they feel like they can play with anyone." And I feel like that's not a good thing.
no,
I mean, because you want your set pairings. Like Ram and Hatton, they weren't going to play with anyone else but each other in the foursomes. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
yeah,
And like Fleetwood and Rose were always going to play four ball, and Fleetwood and McIlroy were going to play foursome. So it's like, yeah, they're predictable pairings, but they're predictable for a reason because they're unbelievable.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, felt like Keegan Bradley just had so many options that he didn't know what his best pairings were. So it's like, yeah, anyone can play with anyone, and that was pretty obvious when he put Scheffler and DeChambeau out in the four ball. Do you know what I mean? It was like a panic pairing.
yeah,
It's like, oh, let's just put the biggest hitter with the world number one, and surely it's going to work.
yeah,
yeah, absolutely. I think that one was the DeChambeau and Scheffler pairing was one of those you're like, oh, this is going to be great to watch. But I think can we call ourselves good golfers? I think we can do that. From a good
two of us
golfers, but
can.
two of us
Yeah,
can. Rob, you set this one out. Um, from our perspective, I mean, people will be going, "Oh, this is so good. We want to see this happen." But yeah, you could not say that he, in his press conference, as you said, Rob, he had a game plan, want to stick to it. There's no way he thought on a Saturday afternoon he's going to put them two out together.
No, no, he
no,
said in his Friday afternoon press conference, we're not going to panic, and then they lost the morning one, and then he panicked for the afternoon.
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
Right. Well, we said we're going to get into some of the stats and we'll shout them out here. The event total, unsurprisingly, has a bit more weighting towards the European team, although probably not as
hmm
much as you think because at the top you've got Tommy Fleetwood, who for the week was plus 6.24, which is
that
that's
is
just unbelievable.
yeah,
outrageous golf.
And obviously these stats compared to the likes of PGA Tour and Live stat, well, I think actually Live is compared to the field as well, but PGA Tour stats is against the average, the global average, whereas the Ryder Cup stats were in their matches. So Tommy Fleetwood across the week was 6.24 ahead of whoever he was playing, which is just incredible. Um,
ridiculous.
and then you've got Cameron Young up there as well in second place, which is, I mean, fair play to him because he was unbelievable. But you'd said before, Jordan, he's played there a lot. So
Yeah, exactly. It does help. But look at the tee to green, right? It's pretty obvious where you were making your most strokes was tee to green.
yeah,
But
absolutely. Well, if you,
then if you go putting, like go putting there for a
yeah,
sec. Yeah, that's pretty down there, right?
yeah, well, if you do it by record, so Tommy had the best record and he had plus 564 in strokes gained approach.
Yeah,
Tee to green, as you say, plus 6.51, which is just ridiculous. Second is
yeah,
4.6. He was two ahead of the next best, which was Cameron Young, who played unbelievably.
yeah,
Um, in terms of the putting, though, I thought, to be fair, it does show overall out of the top, yeah, however many, the top five are all European, apart from one, which is Russell Henley, and he's fifth.
yeah. It's the top seven, and there's one American, so it was a putting contest, right?
It was, yeah. They just didn't put as well. Like, and if you look at the stats that kind of stand out, it's the fact that Keegan Bradley picked Sam Burns because he was number one in putting, and
Yeah,
that
where
is like
where
that's
where
the
is he?
main reason he gave it. And
Yeah,
Yeah,
Burns
his third
was
from
like
bottom,
third from bottom in putting for the week.
yeah, but look at his approach. Look at that minus 5.2.
minus 5.2.
Yeah,
Oh, that
So
is
when you're like hitting it
brutal.
miles away, and then you're putting bad, it's like that's recipe for disaster.
yeah. But I think he should never have said that I'm picking Sam Burns because he's number one putter on tour. Because then you're just putting all the pressure on him.
Yeah,
To every
exactly.
time
To
he's
putt well.
putting, he's like you're just got it on the like any golfer will tell you. If someone tells you that you're the best wedge player in the
Yeah,
UK, I think someone said that to me once.
Yeah,
And then typically for the next 4 or 5 wedge shots, all you're going to think about is, oh, well, I better back this up. And then you're putting extra pressure on yourself. And then you miss the green. Is that right, Ethan?
that's right.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I think
that
that's, yeah.
I'd like to say it was out of context, but I did say that once. And in jest, obviously, I didn't mean it seriously.
Yeah, go on
Uh,
to the Sunday singles there. Just click Sunday singles and see what the
mhm.
stats are saying to that.
So if we just do total first.
Yeah,
Wow.
wow. Yeah, but Shane and Russell Henley's game was like they were both like 6 under.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Russell Henley made 8 or 9 birdies, I think. And it's mad that he actually played the best on the day and he's going to be the boy feeling the worst.
Yeah,
That's just mad how golf works. Like he played the best out of all 22 guys that day. And he's the guy that's going to be crying. Well, I don't know if he'll be crying or not. That's just speculation at this point. But I would be crying if I was him.
but look, if you go putting and then you'll just see like the puttings. Like surely they putted better than us. Well, it's a bit more of a mix, isn't it? But yeah, you can see there like
Well, it's
you
almost
know
evenly split. Obviously, well, because you're up against one another. But I mean, John Ram went down to the last hole, didn't he? And he
no, he lost
was
4 and 3.
oh, he lost
Yeah.
4-3. Never mind. He
Yeah,
didn't
he
go down
got
last
pumped.
hole. He got
I think
pumped.
yeah, one of the main differences in the singles is just that the European guys just didn't play as good as in the teams as in the playing together, and that's just it's funny. Like it's a complete contrast where the Europeans' whole mindset for the team for the week was team this, team that. So like the energy was up. They put everything in those four balls and foursomes,
Yeah,
and then once they got on their own on the course, then suddenly they played worse. And then the Americans were the complete opposite. They were completely unprepared for
Yeah.
playing team stuff together. But then once they were on their own, then they
yeah,
showed up.
yeah. Probably, yeah. You're right. It probably highlights the camaraderie between the European players. The fact they played so well together. I mean, some of those matches. I remember when was it Ram and Hatton on the second day? They missed like 4 or 5 greens in a row, and they got up and down every single time from like position Z. It was unbelievable. And
Yeah,
they weren't even long putts. I think the longest maybe 6 or 7 feet. They were almost
Yeah.
knocking them stiff every time. And it's like a match play when you think you're going to get in on a hole, and then someone just pulls off someone unbelievable, and then just to keep doing that. And the Americans didn't really get that going, obviously, in the team event, but it was
Have a look at
strange.
each. Yeah, have a look at each session there,
Yeah,
just to have a look at what we were saying. So yeah, look at the pattern there. Like that's unreal. And look at the pattern. Oh my god,
yeah.
I
I
mean,
think it also
Rory.
mental
says
that.
it says a lot for. I think you can play the 4 games in a row at home. You know the 4 team sessions in a row at home, but playing the 4 team sessions away just takes so much out of it. If you look at the
Hmm.
boys who played 4 sessions from Europe, McElroy, Ram, Fleetwood, who else played the 4?
5.
Yeah, played the 5 games.
Yeah. That was the only three I think.
They were the 3 big guys, and then they put them up first in the singles, and they all lost their singles match. I
Yeah,
think
Yeah,
you're just
mental.
you're just out. You're just gassed. Like if you play five
Yeah,
games, you're
yeah,
yeah,
it's
for
just
so
sure.
true. It's not even just that. Well, you can see from the pictures as well on the course that it's not exactly your standard American just long course. It is quite hilly as well. You can see it said the caddies were going to have a rough week, and if you're a player, never mind the physical strain, the mental strain that then the European players are under as well is just it's just crazy. But we'll speak about the crowds in a moment, I'm sure.
yeah, yeah.
Go
Um,
four balls. Let's have a look at that one.
yeah, I'll go Friday 4 balls, but 4 balls,
Oh wow.
4 balls. The putting stats actually kind of they flipped a little bit.
Using their own ball. Sam Burns at the bottom again.
Yeah, minus 1.66 just in that session.
And then go foursomes again. Saturday foursomes. Let's have a look at them. Just want to look at the pattern.
Wow, that's as balanced as you get it, to be fair.
Scheffler. Jeez.
Yeah, that was and he still lost.
Still lost. Against was it Victor and Bob? Yeah.
Yeah, I think well might be a bit of a well no, the 4 balls we then wiped them as well. But yeah, it's a good point about the Friday 4 balls, how you're playing your own ball makes it a lot easier. But again, it just stresses how cannot they just cannot gel as a team, work like playing
Right.
together in matches.
Rose's
Um,
4.5 putts gained. Whoa.
that is insane. He probably must have.
Jesus.
Oh, he dominated the strokes gained as well. He
Look
was
at that.
4 ahead of the next person, which is
Yeah.
Four and a
crazy.
What's
half
mad is
putts.
like after every interview, the American boys kept saying like, "Oh, this team, these guys, like we're so gelled in the team room," and they kept like talking about that. And I was just looking, like watching them and thinking, none of them really look like they're good mates.
No,
Mm.
You know, if you and they kept saying that after interviews, and I kept going like, surely this is just they're just chatting absolute bullshit here. Like there's
Yeah,
they none
Fair
of
enough.
them
Yeah.
yeah, none of them look like they'd go for a beer together. And in the
Mhm.
European team, everyone looks like they'd have a beer together.
Yeah.
yeah, it's really obvious. And I heard someone say that it looked like, which I do agree with, the American players were almost playing for their own point, like their own personal pride, rather than
Yeah.
Yeah.
the whole team. And it's easy to say, oh, well, if you win your own point, then the team does well, but it doesn't seem like that. It seems like they're more invested in themselves and how they were getting on, which is why he was suggest they did so poorly in the foursomes, is just that they just could not strike that balance. I mean, every European player had their arms around each other. They were never more than like 5 feet away. And I don't even think that was intentional. I think they were just that close. Um, that it just obviously paid off in the end. But yeah, the Sunday singles, you go straight through to that. I mean, when it was on this TV screen and you had the matches all in a row, I thought actually the American team doesn't look that bad. I mean, Europeans going into this were tipped as pretty heavy favorites by most golf fans, and I thought, you know what, 1-1, they're not as bad as you think. But yeah, it just stress again how poorly Keegan Bradley did.
Yeah. Absolutely. It was definitely Keegan. No offense to him, but the way that he set up the pairings was brutal.
I'm sure he'll text you there, Jordan, saying, "I can't believe you said that on the podcast." Like,
You
Yeah,
Jordan,
well,
we were mates, mate. My God,
never
what's
know,
that
will
all
he?
about?
actually not getting
Yeah,
picked.
it's brutal. Yeah,
Um,
should have picked himself.
should have picked himself. Yeah. Well, talking about setup and setting up the pairings, the course setup, Keegan Bradley came out after and said that they got the course set up all wrong, and he's taking the responsibility for that. Um, and how it's he didn't expect it to be as wet as it was, which obviously made it more receptive. And they wanted the course to be long, but obviously they cut the rough down short because I suppose the stereotype is that Americans hit it can hit it anywhere, whereas European setups like to make it tighter, more penal, so that you have to be straighter off the tee. What were your kind of thoughts on the course setup?
Yeah, brutal, completely wrong, just absolutely outrageous. I mean, Bethpage back when you watch it in the USPGA, it's like thick rough. You're like hacking out from the rough, which is just off the fairway, and yet you actually sometimes were better off being in the rough, um, like on some of the holes because like you'd have less spin. It's like you watch Bethpage, you watch it in the majors, and you think, wow, this is going to be brutal, and then it was just an absolute birdie fest. I mean, Fleetwood and Rose were what, like 11 under through 14 on Saturday.
Yeah,
That's just ridiculous.
No,
yeah,
it's just ridiculous. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean the there is this old saying, yeah, that the US are just bombers and the Europeans are finesse players. But
hmm
actually, the teams coming in this year were the complete opposite.
yeah,
The
Yeah.
Europeans had the bombing team with Rory, Ram, Auberg, Hovland,
Fleetwood.
Rasmus.
um, oh yeah, Rasmus, like through the team bombers. And then the American team actually this year were all kind of finesse players, Spawn, Henley, Morikawa
English.
short off the tee,
Yeah,
English short off the tee, like guys that are just primed for, tight courses, firm greens.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
it made it very interesting, but it was a. I mean, the course itself was a bit boring, I thought.
yeah,
It was just, I
It,
mean, the amount of birdies made it interesting, but
it was just the fact that like every single par four and par five was a driver off the tee.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like, and then the par threes obviously par threes, but like having every single hole as a driver just makes it a boring golf course because it's just hit it as far as you can, get as close to the green as possible, and then just wedge it on from the rough or the fairway or whatever.
it was a
You know?
boring golf course. It was.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
There
think
was,
though,
It needed major championship vibes, and it didn't have any of that.
yeah, that's the only way it would have made it interesting. It was if it was tough
yeah,
Yeah.
because there were no drivable par fours. The the 18th hole as well. Like if you cut 16, 17, 18, where all the drama happens, were three very average basic holes
hmm
where quite hard to make a birdie, but no, well, but quite hard to make a bogey. They're all kind
But
of
it felt
par
so
holes.
short. It felt so short. Like on the last, it was like driver and then just flicking
yeah.
it
I was
on, and
gonna
then like
say,
Yeah, and it was like you
17
need.
was like 170, and it's like a 9 iron for some of those guys. Do you know what I mean? If that's like 210-yard par three,
Yeah,
like that becomes such a better par three. And in the last, if you're hitting like 6 iron into it, or like if you're hitting at least you're hitting like 6 iron or 7 iron or whatever it is, birdie's good.
Yeah,
But you're flicking in it from like 80, 90 yards, and it's like who's gonna make birdie? It's not who's gonna slip up. It's just who's gonna stiff it and hold it.
Yeah,
pretty
and
much.
it's
Yeah,
weird. I suppose there's the argument that they're supposed to be bombers, they can hit it wherever they want, and then they can stop the ball quickly, so they should almost get the advantage, but that's not how it panned out at all. But it was
yeah,
strange seeing, yeah, Bethpage playing so, I'm not gonna say easy because I've never played it, obviously, but it's obviously the
Bit
easiest
easy.
it probably could have played with cutting the
yeah,
rough down. They were hitting 6 irons in, they were almost stopping dead. Like
yeah,
it
Yeah,
was crazy. And you say Jordan, that final hole, which created a lot of drama, like went in the USA's team favor at the end, but you would have like 110 in from a fairway bunker, which is not the end of the world.
yeah, and then hitting the fairway and just having a flick, or even hitting it in the rough and just being fine.
Yeah,
If the tee's like 50 yards further back and you've got to hit the fairway to have any chance, like if the tee's 50 yards further back with thick rough, you've pretty much got to hit the fairway to give yourself a chance.
yeah.
yeah,
Well, the thing is as well, the European team were there for what, almost 2 weeks before the event started.
Yeah,
yeah,
And so they were just so much more prepared for it. And I mean, it's crazy that I don't know how often the US players went to play the course, but I'm guessing it's not that much, really. I know Bryson did it in one of his videos. A couple other players went and played it probably just in when they had a day off, but for the whole team to be there for 2 weeks was obviously counted in the end. I know Scotty won that event, but I don't know if I'd be too happy about him playing that event when I see the whole European team getting
yeah.
ready
two
for
weeks
the Ryder
before.
Cup.
Yeah,
I think it's just the previous Ryder Cups, like through the years, the Americans were so much stronger world ranking wise than Europeans that
Hmm.
it was always that they just could just turn up and it'd
Yeah,
be fairly close or the US would win.
yeah,
But now the Europeans, world ranking wise, are starting to catch up to the Americans. Like we're starting to get really top players at the top of the world rankings. And so now that extra prep we make is just making it's just, we're just destroying them now in both,
yeah.
like, because it's a level playing field talent wise
Hmm.
nowadays that extra prep is just taking us like way above. And I can see, unless the US change dramatically how they are as like start thinking more as a team or trying to be actually like more mates with each other, it could be like a European dominance for the next, I can see it being next 10, 12 years with this group
Yeah.
of guys.
This team thing just feels so forced. I feel like every single time we go into a Ryder Cup, we talk about how much of a team Europe are, but then you talk about how much of a not a team the Americans are, and I feel like they just forced they like trying to be a team,
Yeah,
whereas the Europeans are just they're just buddies. They are just
yeah.
are a team. Do you know what I mean?
Keegan would say things that in the moment look inspirational, but they're so artificial because I mean, I don't think Europeans need that sort of encouragement. They just have that bond already. Whereas
yeah,
the
Yeah.
Americans, he's like, to be fair to him, he obviously wanted to go in there and make a difference, but it it just didn't seem too genuine and they weren't really on board. And I don't know. Obviously, you've got big personalities in the US team. You've got likes of Bryson, JT, to be fair, gets so up for it. It's a joke. Um, you've got who else is quite loud in that team?
Loads of them, but it's like the thing is, I just think that the Europeans, it's well, it's like put it this way: the European team was the exact same 2 years ago, but apart from one twin brother. I mean, it doesn't get
Hmm.
any closer than that, right? And
Yeah.
they knew the pairings, they knew exactly what was going to go on. They probably knew the pairings probably like 2 months ago, like when the captain's picks got made. Do you know what I mean? I just think USA they just think that they can ride the wave of like the President's Cup and winning that every week and then every year or every 2 years, and then just like taking that into the Europe into the Ryder Cup, and they just can't do it. Like they just can't.
yeah. I saw someone mention, I found it quite interesting that the winner of the Ryder Cup should be playing the international team the next year instead of
Yeah, but if Americans are like if the Americans are battering the international team and then they lose to Europe, then the Europeans will just batter the international team.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, but it could
I
be, it
mean,
could give it even a bigger complexion. I mean, the Ryder Cup's
I
big
just
enough as it's big enough
Yeah.
as
yeah,
it is, anyways.
I think because they've got one every year, like they play the Presidents Cup and the Ryder Cup like alternate. They don't get up for the Ryder Cup as much as the Europeans because it's every
Yeah.
2 years. I think yeah, so they either I don't know what they do with the Presidents Cup, but they need to get more up for the Ryder Cup because it's like it all started with Sevi, didn't it? He just made it a thing. Like this is the
Yeah,
biggest thing ever, and then these
yeah,
boys just go, "Ah, it's just a." I feel like they just go, "Ah, it's just another event."
yeah.
I'm getting paid. I'm just going to turn up. I'm just going to. It doesn't matter this, that, and the other. So it's like it means so much more to the Europeans than it does the Americans, without question.
Yeah.
It does. You can see in the videos as well. The culture difference is just insane, and it goes down to the same for the fans. Like the European culture is just so good. Honestly, those pre-made videos, like I get
Talking like a
Oh,
so
proper Swiss
pumped
man
up.
right here.
Yeah,
Continental
it's
European.
it's just there would be nothing better than just being, imagine those like kind of 10 years down the road, having they're probably still having dinners together. Everyone's probably, still mates and stuff. It just seems like the bond between European guys is just unmatched.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's just so good. Those videos are the prep videos are just unreal.
How do you
Speaking
feel?
of the fans, they
Yeah, I
are
was
an
gonna say.
absolute disgrace. What a joke of a country! Because my good God,
There's your clip.
the worst, the worst, the
Jordan's
worst
creating
set
the
of
sound
fans I
bites.
have ever seen. And worst set of, honestly, golf. They're not golf fans, right? They cannot be golf fans. Like
No,
Rory said in his press conference afterwards, he said they were rooting against Rory more than they were cheering for Scotty, and
Yeah.
that's not someone who's a fan of their team.
yeah,
You know what I mean? You
No.
don't go to a football match and cheer against the other team more than your own team. It's not like you don't celebrate a goal
yeah.
or you celebrate them missing a penalty more than you do celebrating them you scoring a goal.
Yeah. Well, they just
It's like they were
struggle to create an
celebrating.
atmosphere. They struggle to
Depends if
create
your
this
team
atmosphere.
doesn't score any goals. No, that's the problem though.
But
That's
it's
just
but even like the first tee, in the first tee felt like the grandstand was miles away from the first tee box. Like you go to like Paris or Rome, and the tee box, the grandstand feels like it's on the tee box,
like cauldron. Yeah.
and you've got all those fans like surrounding the tee box. Whereas this one, it just felt like they were miles away, and you could hit it anywhere. There was just no, it didn't feel like there was any pressure on the first tee.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's a bit
if you
artificial.
put the whole American thing together between the fans, the way the Ryder Cup was set up, and the way the whole team is set up and prepared, it just feels like, oh, we're just gonna show up and it'll be all right.
Yeah,
Kind of like it's like they're still in uni, they've got an exam the next day, and they're like, oh, I'm gonna. They've done no work the whole year, and they're like, oh, we're gonna study for it the last night, and then we're gonna show up, and it's gonna work out.
yeah,
Just coming from experience, Rob. Yeah.
This not at all, no.
Not at all. Know you're a hard worker.
And then it works like that works in uni, but this is real life stuff, and it feels like they just turn up and it'll work. The same with their chants, like they,
Well, there was a
it's
Oh
couple. There
my
was a couple of
God.
funny chants that didn't work out. There was the one, the "We Will Rock You" one, the Scotty Scheffler,
I actually think
which
that's a
Oh
pretty
my.
good chat.
oh
Like,
come on, Rob, that was
It's
terrible.
absolutely
But you
brutal.
don't need someone at the front to go and start that. Just someone in the crowd to start it. That's the whole European thing,
Yeah.
where it is a bit of obviously the football culture that bleeds into it. But there was that, and there was the same. Was it the same MC that made the Rory comment as well?
Yeah,
oh,
she didn't she get sacked?
she had a great 12 hours, didn't she?
Brutal,
So
honestly.
she got booed for
That's brutal.
starting some of the worst chants you ever heard in your life.
Rich
And
Beam.
then when everyone started shouting like "fuck you, Rory," she joined in with the microphone, and,
Yeah.
and then got sacked 6 hours later. Obviously,
Yeah,
like
obviously.
Rich
what
Beam was
what
saying
was she
that
thinking?
her husband is a huge golf fan, and but she's a comedian, and she got the gig because he's a huge golf fan. Thought it'd be great to get her involved, but obviously she just had
No idea.
just no idea. But that may be a
She
reflection of the fans that she maybe thought that was okay because the stuff she'd heard earlier that day. Maybe
Yeah,
that's
probably.
why.
was another sort of like the team of the week where they thought, she seems like she can do something. We'll put her in without really preparing,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and let's see what happens and hope it goes well.
Yeah, without question.
And
yeah,
then
Just
bang, it's just a disaster. But the fans, the problem is like this is it seems like in America the whole like post COVID, um, like the post COVID American football fans turned to golf. These white collar guys,
hmm
which is quite ironic because I'm wearing a white collar right now. Well, And
So,
Jordan as well. Jordan.
but I think
Uh,
that is a good
it's
point.
actually this is
Somewhat,
cream, Rob.
it's
It's
a cream
cream.
color,
Oh, cream, sorry.
but I think that's because I think it's a good point. I think a lot of them weren't necessarily golf fans; they're sports fans because tickets were $750. If you're a true golf fan, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have that money to go.
No.
That's just per day.
And you just know that all those guys chatting those stuff are not they're not repairing their divots. They're they're not putting they're I don't know what they're doing. They're
Is that all you do?
They're
Pitch
not
marks,
repairing their
maybe,
pitch
Rob?
marks. They're not raking the
Don't rake
bunkers.
bunkers.
yeah,
Yeah,
They're not shouting
100%.
for.
the
Oh,
caps on backwards on the course.
yeah,
You know they're like they're a disgrace, and that's those boys that are at the Ryder Cup chatting some absolutely. I mean, some of the stuff was. I mean, some of the stuff was pretty good, but the issue is that like because a lot of them just don't have a sense of humor.
yeah.
Yeah,
They just don't know what to shout. They try to be funny, obviously for the crowd, but it just comes off as just
yeah.
disgusting. Like,
The only
It
good
just
one I
felt
heard
like
was the you don't need a button to choke Rory. I like that
yeah,
one.
that was pretty good.
Apart from that, that was maybe 1 in 100. That was
But I
actually
feel
pretty
like it
good.
was just obviously just like it must have just been like a few people every time. Do you know what I mean? That were just ruining it. But I actually, although golf is a gentleman's game, I actually didn't mind that Rory and Shane and some of them were just giving it back to him.
Oh yeah,
You know what I
loved it,
mean? Like,
loved
I'm
it.
all for that because see, like 10, 15 years ago, if someone said that Rory's going to tell someone to shut the fuck up, like a spectator, they'd go, absolutely no way. Like that's just not going to happen. And it was brilliant,
that was brilliant.
absolutely phenomenal.
The
Tell
fact that he
someone
hit it
and then stiffs it. Oh
and
my
then he
god,
stiffs it. Oh my god!
just
What a moment!
and
I
when he
mean,
hold that part and he just went, fuck you. Ah, just get it so far up him, honestly.
Rory, I've never like Rory. Sometimes doesn't come off great, and he gets his fair share of like a bit of criticism for how he acts and stuff. But he got was spot on this whole week.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
just came
definitely
out
spot
absolutely.
on.
the collar up, and I've never loved Rory so much. Watching him just be like, you know what, nah, I've just won the
Yeah,
Grand Slam. I'm just
yeah.
gonna say whatever I want to say here.
Oh,
Yeah,
so true.
exactly.
That he was brilliant. Like,
I think especially in those moments as well, the fact the Europeans played so well together under those conditions, maybe they kind of missed not having someone in the singles, and that's maybe why the US kind of pulled away. It did make it interesting, to be fair, for
made
a
it very
while,
interesting.
but
Yeah,
it just got too close when you looked up and there was not a single blue point on the board. You had like about five half matches sitting there thinking you just watched the first two games. Was it the first two games went down the last, or the first couple of the first games went down the last all square, and then the US ended up winning a point for each. It was just
Yeah,
turning really, really quickly.
yeah. The fact that I think 8 or 7 out of the 11 games went down the 18th
yeah, unreal.
was just great viewing. Like
Yeah,
just in
8 of
front.
them. But it would have been more interesting if the last was actually a good golf hole. And let's just try and hit the fairway and
This is
get
it.
it
This
instead of
comes back to
hit a
how
pitch.
terrible a
So
venue it
bad.
was.
And
What a
the
shocking 18th hole is an uphill wedge shot,
yeah,
semi-blind. You can't really see the ball landing, so the players are all waiting for a reaction on the crowd.
yeah,
They don't even know how to react when they hit a shot.
exactly.
Eh,
But then you go back to like Marcus Simeone, where you play 17, drivable par four over water to ones they can actually reach, and then 18 being a par five, and they're just about reaching in two with water down the left. I mean,
yeah,
that's like no comparison. It's
no
like
comparison.
no comparison whatsoever. It was far better, and they just got it. Like, even the first hole, Bethpage, hit it anywhere, wedge it on the green. You know what I mean? The greens are soft. There's no rough. Thanks for coming. The first hole, Marco Simeone, bunker left, bunker right, can't hit driver, have to hit driver perfect, hit it in the rough, you're hacking out. It's like obviously we were going to win because you could just hit it anywhere. Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean? And just again, just comes down to being a putting competition again, doesn't it? And we just won the putting competition on
yeah.
Friday and
This is
Saturday
Yeah,
by
the
that's
so much.
exactly. It's just yeah, it was a poor performance for the US, but looking ahead to the next Ryder Cup, should Donald do it again?
I saw a clip where he was absolutely hammered and he was just shouting 2 more years.
You know what? I think it depends. You know what? He's already a great because he's won two away, two home as a player, and now he's won one away and one home as a captain. I mean, it doesn't get any better as a Ryder Cup resume than that.
Doesn't.
No.
So, and I'm
If
just trying to think who would do it instead. Like, would they take GMAC because it's in Ireland?
Well, he loves it. He's the guy who said if they need someone to make the coffees or make the teas, I'll do it.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, I don't really I don't sit comfortable with me him doing it again. I just don't think he can do it for a third time. I think that's
I think you've
kind of
just got to go out. I think you've always got to go out on a high, right? Like winning away for the first time in 13 years. You know what I mean? Just
yeah,
that's it. Thanks for coming. I've done my bit. You know, go win at Adair Manor, whoever it may be. But the whole live narrative of not choosing a live player to be captain, and that needs to
mm,
just go out the window because live players are playing the actual Ryder Cup. So someone like GMAT would be really good because obviously being an Ireland or choosing someone else. Like imagine Ian Poulter not eventually being a Ryder Cup captain.
yeah, I think it's too soon to do Henrik Stenson for that one, but I think one of the others could definitely fill in and do it. I
Yeah, I
think
think
that Don's
GMAC
had
or
his time.
Garcia or something like that.
I think it's too
But
soon for live golf guys though. I still think in 2 years' time is too soon. Maybe in four
I know,
years.
but they're playing though. The Liv guys are playing the Ryder
They
Cup.
play and they're playing the
Yeah,
DP World Tour this week.
They're done here, yeah.
yeah.
So I
How
don't
do
know.
you reckon those boys are going to play after that night on Sunday,
Just
and then
not
trying to
even gonna bother.
fly over the Atlantic to get back? They are going to be in some shape.
Oh, it must be just like a sponsors thing. Like so maybe they're playing with some sponsors, or they're playing with like their family or friends or something, and they're
Well,
just
they need
playing for
world
the crack.
ranking points, but even then, world ranking points probably aren't. Well, they're the best they're going to get because they can play Asian Tour, can't they, and live? But then obviously they can't play the PGA Tour, so DP World Tour is going to be the next best they could do.
Yeah,
Who do you reckon got the most hammered out of the 12 European boys?
Shane Lowry without question.
Shane Lowry or no, probably Shane Lowry. Yeah,
Yeah,
Shane
Shane Lowry. I
Lowry,
mean, he tweeted on Monday saying, "I think I might be hungover." Obviously,
I mean
obviously.
that's the best thing. I mean, obviously you dream of winning the Open. He wins the Open in Portrush. He then, but as soon as he hold that, we looked at each other. Robbins, or not Rob, it was Jordan. Knew that was going to be the best
yeah,
moment, the best single moment because he had what a 6 shot lead coming down the last at Portrush. He kind of knew it
yeah,
was
yeah,
over. There's not
exactly.
much unless you had it way left in the
Yeah.
last at Portrush.
Yeah,
Even then, 6 shots is a lot. So I think in a single shot, that's probably the best moment of his life.
yeah,
It's mad that he said that winning, making that putt, winning the Ryder Cup was a way better feeling than winning the Open at Portrush. I mean,
Yeah.
that
He
just
also,
shows you like how mad that being that team room, being a European player, it must be. I mean,
yeah.
he's had an
I wish they
unbelievable.
did on like one of those Netflix documentaries of
Uh,
in the
well,
team rooms and stuff. Imagine the
but then full swing will be on the Ryder. The Ryder Cup will be on full swing, I think, wouldn't it? So we'll get to see a little bit of that.
yeah.
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, Shane Lowry has won the Irish Open as an amateur. He's won the Open at Portrush, and now he's held that putt, which was only for a half in the end, but was it full point? Yeah, half,
Uh,
half, yeah. To win the Ryder, to retain the Ryder Cup is just he's had a few big nights for sure.
He's,
but
I mean,
but then Rory's had the best year known to man, right? Wins the Masters, wins the Players, completes the career Grand Slam, and wins an away Ryder Cup.
Yeah,
You know, like money aside, he's won the Masters and away Ryder Cup, completed the Grand Slam all in 1 year. Thanks for coming. Where does he go now?
is he a shoe-in for the sports personality of the year?
oh, we had this debate.
Oh, this is a big
Oh,
debate.
but he,
Oh,
yeah. Is he British
can a man who's represented Ireland at the
at the
Olympics
Olympics?
win British Sports Personality of the Year? Oh, that's controversial.
But
I
again,
mean,
he is going to win it, right? There's no doubt about it.
He's going to win it.
He is going to win it by a landslide. But he did represent Ireland at the Olympics.
but
Unless one
is
of the girls who scored the winning penalty, the penalty at the Euros
Yeah,
yeah, but
gets.
I think that aside, if there was no debate between the Ireland Great Britain thing, Rory would be the clear favourite.
well, he's
But
going to win anyway. I think.
yeah, but well, if you understand the full picture with golf back home, you play for the province, you don't play for your county or anything like that. So if you play for Ulster, you either play for Ulster, Leinster, Connacht, or Munster, and then you play for Ireland as you go up the ranks. There is no Northern Ireland golf team.
Yeah,
It's the same with rugby, with they play in the provinces as well. So I mean, but even still, it is a bit. Can he still win British Broadcasting Corporation Personality of the Year?
That's what I mean, because the BBC runs it, so
Yeah.
it'll be an interesting one to see where they go with that. 'Cause,
Yeah, but put it this way: are Team Europe going to win Team of the Year?
I
Can
mean, they
they?
have
Is
to.
they have? But I mean, Team Europe are going to win Team of the Year. Is that? I mean, they are going to, right? They have to. There's no other team, right?
English women's
So,
team?
well, actually, a very good point. But you know, should they win? Should they win Team of the Year?
No. Have they ever given it to a Ryder Cup team before? Surely not. Surely it must be just a British thing.
I actually don't know.
Actually, that's a good question.
No, I would
But
think it's just a British team. You couldn't. I know that obviously British people playing. There were a lot of English boys playing. Well, English and well, a lot of the ones from UK and Ireland playing it this year. There was only a few Europeans. You got Oberg, Straka, and Rasmus Højgaard. Is that it? Oh,
yeah,
John Ram. Sorry, maybe not. Maybe
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 not.
not. There's a few.
Oh, Seb Straka.
Yeah,
There's a few.
The Ryder Cup team won it in 2010
Did
Really?
they?
and 2002.
Did they not? And they didn't win it in 2012 after Medina. So
No, Team GB won in 2012, obviously because
Ah,
of the
London,
Olympics.
London
fair enough.
Olympics.
But they didn't win it. Like they haven't won it since since whenever that was, 2010.
Yeah.
They
Well,
can win it.
okay. Well, that'll be interesting. But looking ahead to Ryder Cup 2027, yeah, I think Europe are going to be favourites again. It's going to be interesting to see if the team changes that much. If Rosie will still keep his spot, for example. I mean, his golf swing is timeless. Like he is probably the most underrated golfers. I won't say
I was
ever, but
about to
definitely one
say
of the
that.
most underrated British golfers for
I
sure.
would say he's. I
Mm.
think he's the most underrated golfer ever. I would say
That's our clip.
that's an honor clip in there.
I mean,
He,
at 45, he's lost them in the playoff this year. He's in the Masters. He's just
I think he's as he finished second in every major as well. He's so clutch.
yeah. I
If
mean,
you
four
think
and a
of
half.
even the putt he made on the 18th at the Masters for he every Ryder Cup he seems to have a putt on the 18th to win,
Yeah,
and he just keeps doing it.
he's 12th in the world. Are we talking about Justin Rose? Sorry, I missed
Yeah,
that. Yeah, he's 12th in the world. I mean, that's pretty good.
Is he going to make it team again at 47 though?
yeah. But would you pick Justin Rose if you were to play tomorrow for someone to play for your life? Right, your life's on the line. He has to one.
No. His life's on the line and then we lose him.
Yeah, I would pick Rob.
I would pick, you can't pick yourself, no. Yeah, I'd pick Rob as well then.
Yeah, I'd pick Rob. Look at him.
Well, I'm going to see what time we're at now. I think
I'm pretty hot
we're
and hot
pretty
under the
far
collar
along.
now.
Yeah, well, oh, let's see if he comes back. If not, we'll just wrap it up. Well, we'll start wrapping it up, and if he comes back, then he can have the last
Yeah, yeah.
word.
Go for it. Go for it. Go for it.
So, yeah, thanks for listening to the podcast. Obviously, we haven't got the professional setup yet. We wanted to do this to see if anybody's interested first. And then if you're enjoying it, we'll get into more detailed episodes about Jordan and Rob specifically. Probably less so myself and James Kempster. Even though we're handy golfers, I'd think handing over to a challenger golfer and another turn professional is probably a better way to do it. So, um, if you're interested in that, then please keep an eye out. And yes, speak to you all
Then
soon.
we'll, goodbye.
Goodbye.